Hello there, this is Zeeebo and welcome to today's Zeebo's TED Talk episode 2. And in this video, we are going to talk about Dura's trial or magic charm this season so far. So for the Dura's trial, I will be using my free-to-play VN account to talk about some features that you guys might not know. So first of all, I think Dura's trial this season so far has been pretty well done. I like the system of them splitting the dungeons into two, into Dawnrise and Nightmare, so that one, for the Dawnrise side, it is a lot easier. If you take a look at my current progression, we are 19, 19, 19, 19, 15 and 17. So for the 15 and 17 part for the Rogue side, I think I might have forgotten to clear through the stages itself. So I should be also be able to do 19. Right, if I get the reset tomorrow. So that's what I'll do tomorrow. But for this one, the very first one, for most of these stages over here, if you take a look at like the units you can use your whole hero pool, right? And you need not use your rate up unit, because for this stage over here, there's this level pegging system which is pegged to your levels of your account. So the higher level you go, no matter how tough the stages will be, eventually you will be able to push through these farming stages with your level advantage, because you got a lot more stats with more levels itself. So that's one thing that I appreciate a lot. And then obviously, to give a little bit more advantage for the spenders or the players who are willing to spend a little bit to get more units built up, they get more efficiency in the Nightmare stages, where they get rewards boost as well as chest percentage boost. So I think it's a fair system in terms of like the cost and rewards to the magic charm farming side. And at the same time, even for the free-to-play players, even if you can't clear through these stages, right? Even if you can't do these stages like myself over here on my free-to-play account, don't worry, because at the end of each cycle, so the very first cycle is all the way until stage 8, and then the next cycle is stage 19, and then the next one opens in 14 days for this account right here, as you guys can see. So if you go into the next cycle, what will happen is all the Nightmare stages will be completed for that cycle when you go into the next one. So even if, for example, you are stuck at stage 5 or stage 4 on the very first one, once you open up the next cycle, you will be able to get to stage 6 to get your stage 6 rewards boost over here. So that's something that happened for my free-to-play account. As you guys can see, we are minimally at stage 6. So for the guild treasure side, I just forgot to do the last time it was in the cycle, so that's why we are currently at 15.6. But if you can't clear the Nightmare stages, don't worry, once the next cycle open, you will be able to max out that maximum stage for that cycle itself. And then when you go into the next cycle, the difficulty curve will actually, I'll say, like be something like a hill, where it will go up, and then at like the 5th or 6th stage it will be the toughest, and then it will go down. So you can see that most of my difficulty stages right here, we are at 9 and 10, 11. So I'll say, even if you are somebody who's like not mega well, you don't have every unit built up, you should be able to push through and get sufficient resource to farm. And even if you're not able to get everything, you'll still be able to, I'll say, get at least the important charm sets on the units that you want or you use a lot, because of the increase in terms of the charm essences, as well as the additional boost from your Nightmare stages itself. So for this season, one thing which I still don't like is me getting the charms for units which I don't use, or is just not that useful. For example, like Lucius one, like Kruger one. So obviously right now my current stage is at the yellow charm. Ideally I want the yellow charms for my commonly used units. Odie is done, Sonya is done. I kind of want to build up my Smokey next, because I use Smokey a lot for my different contents, and then maybe Bonnie, Mikola. So this few, I'll say I can definitely build their yellow charms now for the next level ability itself. So even as a free-to-play player on this account so far, I think charms are relatively accessible because the materials are quite an abundance. And on top of that, even if you can't clear through the stage like I mentioned earlier, at the end of the cycle you will be able to push through, right? It will go through automatically, so you will be able to focus on certain units which you use every single day. And then I think that's good enough, at least from a free-to-play player's perspective, in terms of farming for your charms itself. Because for the last season, if I was stuck at one stage, I basically can't progress and I can't farm the charms for the next tier, which felt terrible. So that's why I say, compared to the last season or compared to the previous season, this season is a lot more friendly, a lot better for the free-to-play players as well. So that's for the magic charm side. So obviously, if you are a spender, you have a lot of units, your account is very stacked up, you will be able to farm everything, and then you will have a lot more charm collection compared to the free-to-play players, because you will be able to get more of the dust every single day, right? So more dust means that you can craft more higher level charms for all your specific units. So that's the only difference in terms of the players as well as the free-to-play players or the players with lesser resources in general. So that's number one that I want to talk about. Okay, now let's talk about the charm, or what dungeons should you farm. So I think you've probably seen some guides or some videos or like whatever, or like Discord of people mentioning to go for Dream Realm characters and get like Odie, Sonya, Smokey, etc up, right? So the reason is simple. If you use them a lot, get their charms up, it'll benefit you on a daily basis. But if, let's say, for example, if your dungeon efficiency is higher for the arcane treasures over here, meaning you are able to farm the highest level for the Dawnrise stage as well as the highest level for the Nightmare stage, I would actually encourage you to farm that stage specifically. Because, for example, if I'm only able to do stage 9 here, right, but I'm able to do stage 11 on here, for example, I will be able to get a lot more of this essence, which will allow me to craft the charms for my other units nonetheless. And if you take a look at this, right, at 8 it's plus 30, at 10 is plus 60, subsequently I think it's probably more. So every energy you are getting a lot more golden essence efficiency for you to craft specific sets itself. So if, let's say, for example, you want to get your Odie charm, but your dungeon efficiency for the focus treasure is not the best, then you should actually farm for the arcane treasure one and then use the essence to craft for your specific unit charms over here. So that's what I'm advising. Instead of farming the dungeons that you are less efficient in, farm the dungeon that you are more efficient in, and then use those additional rewards boosts to get those specific charms for the good units that you're using. So that will be my farming guide for all these dungeons right here. In terms of the current Dura trial experience, it has been so good. I mean, it has been pretty good so far, but I don't know whether or not this will continue to be the case as we move into the higher tier charms towards the mythic charm, for example. So we shall see, because last season another problem that occurred was, I think, mythic charm or the highest rarity charm came a little bit too late. So I think people didn't have the chance to fully experience like all the individual charms for all the different units, and then they were complaining that it was just a little too late in most cases, which I kind of agree as well. So I kind of hope their pacing for this season would be such that we are able to get like the mythic or the highest level charms at least, I'll say, like on the 3rd month, for example. Then we have like at least 1.5 months or 2 months left to experience the whole magic charm system. So that's pretty much it. Just a simple TED talk for this Dura trial, what you need to farm, as well as the different caveats that you might want to know for this season, for this game mode over here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.